a bunch of people that actually hate this route. They don't think it's successful very often. But if you get a little bit of space and you throw it in the right spot, you can see the end result. We just saw a touchdown.
And we did. Who's it usually tougher for? Obviously, that was a great catch. Is it tougher on the passer or on the receiver there on the fade?
I think it's tougher on the passer to put it in the right spot and give the receiver an opportunity. The receiver just usually goes and finds the football.
He did there and got a touchdown out of it. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On second down, here's Breeze. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. On first down, Breeze. And an alley to run. Now Breeze lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he's got some space here. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Peterson gets the handoff from Breeze. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And some space here. 30, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Bengals. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Adam Jones. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On second down, Peterson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. On first and 10, here's Breeze. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I. Well, Larry, I know it's late there in Orlando. This is a school night. Folks eager to get right back to the action here in the third quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting.
Under pressure, they got him again. Carlos Dunlap in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need.
Looking for his tight end fleeter, and it's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this beat.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals.